Hear it.
Hello, everyone. Suzanne Taylor King here for the Prosperous and Productive Entrepreneur Show. We are here today with one of the amazing experts from my community, the Idea Lab for Entrepreneurs, Melissa Henry. Welcome,
Hi.
my friend.
I thank you. Thank you, Suzanne, for having me on
Oh, you're
again.
so welcome. You're so welcome. You are officially my first repeat guest.
What? How
Yeah,
amazing. I
yeah.
love that. Thank you.
So,
That's like a hell of an
well,
honor.
one, I'm so excited about what you are currently working on. Good morning, whoever's on LinkedIn saying good morning. Hello.
Mm.
Um,
Hello.
one of the things that I love about having a community of entrepreneurs with 12 amazing experts is that I get to hang out with people like you on a weekly basis.
Mhm.
And that makes me feel so abundant and lucky and just curating this group of experts, and everybody's so unique and so different, and giving you a platform to have more people see what you do is really the goal of the whole community, is to give an entrepreneur a place to be seen, be heard, learn, and connect with other amazing go-givers. So
Mm.
thank you for being a part of
Yes.
it with me.
Oh my God.
I love
I love
it.
it. I love it. And, I'm just getting started with my like little part of the community, but
Mhm.
um it's so funny because when you first talked about this, I couldn't wrap my brain around it. It was so funny because you know, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, well, I sort of see it. And then it was just
Mhm.
over time when you were talking more and more about it, I was like, wow, I can totally see the power of this. So I really do appreciate you kind of sticking with me and like continuing to give me that feedback about what it's going to really be. And it's amazing what you're creating.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hmm.
And I want to just say that um w- when you're an idea person like I am, I can create ideas all day long. And it was a special moment in my career when I learned that all of those ideas don't have to be for me. They can honestly be for other people as well.
Mm,
So
yes.
that was a big relief off my shoulders. But part of this um, journey with you in particular is you enabled my brand through the work just in your workshop that you do.
Hmm.
You enabled me to see my brand a little differently. So I would love to talk about what you do in your free workshop, what you do in your micro community in the Idea Lab, what the plans are, because
Hmm.
how you made me feel more productive, more prosperous, all the themes of everything that I talk about, you actually gave a little piece of that to me. So,
Wow. I'm I can't believe that. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
you're welcome.
Wow. Amazing. Yeah, well, okay. So, what I'm doing. All right. Well, let's start with the workshop that I've done. And I do that if like I don't know that I have like specific plans yet on when I'm going to incorporate that again, but like
Mhm.
my let me kind of start back with what's the big mission here. So the big mission for me is to make sure that women coaches and consultants don't stay stuck
Mm,
because and we get stuck for a lot of reasons, many of which actually relate to the fact that we haven't gone deep enough into our brand.
yeah.
We are because we live and breathe ourselves every day. And unless we're being very introspective about what about us is coming out and creating that business brand, unless we're really like spending that time and effort to get real with it,
Mhm.
then we're always going to kind of not really have clarity on what we need to do next, which is what leads to all of the things that mess us up. It leads to like self-confidence going down, not having the right mindset around things, not celebrating our wins, trying to do
Procrastination.
procrastination, trying to do too many things,
Yeah.
all of it. And I I've I did that for so long, like so long. And I'm just sort of like in the last year or so coming out of that and really getting deeper into my brand. And I have probably more than most anyone. I live and breathe branding every day, right? So,
Mhm.
but it's always for other people. So it took me a while to actually sit there and say, wait a minute, I got to do this for myself too. Which was what happened at the beginning of 2021, I think, was
Mhm.
when I really was like, okay, wait a minute, I got to take this step and start doing this for myself. So long story short about all of that, my biggest goal is to get women out of that. And I think I focus on women, not that I can't help men as well, but I focus on women specifically because I understand them better because, well, I'm a woman, you know.
Mhm.
And I just feel like I've had that, like these thoughts and these, setbacks and these obstacles and these things that were in my way that I know that we all do. And but we
Yeah.
all, like, the biggest thing is we all have a big vision and we've got to stick with it, but still, like, don't lose the vision for
Mm.
all of the obstacles that kind of come in between you and that vision, right? So
Yeah,
I
and
don't know if that
I
really helps
it
explain
does,
that.
and I'm gonna talk you into doing that workshop that I attended with you
Okay.
more often because,
Yes.
1, I think it for people like me who've been in business for a long time, who've evolved, like, I've grown up with my business. I've, you know,
Mhm.
grown personally and professionally all at the same time, all mixed together, and I was a little muddy for a while. And
Mhm.
I will say that, through clarity on who I am and where I wanna go, and the assets I bring to the table, the gifts I bring to the table, through really spending some time there, that's where I was finally able to decide, "Okay, you're tired of your Facebook group. You're tired of people not seeing your content. You're tired of like all these things that I
Mhm.
wasn't willing to let go of, and I
Mhm.
couldn't let go of because I didn't have that bigger vision.
Yeah.
That what do I really want from
Mhm.
my business and what do I really want to do for people and how do I want to inspire them? And I think that's the beautiful thing about hanging out with people who wanna do the same thing,
Mhm.
that you get more inspired, you get more motivated, you get more, juice for the drive,
Yes.
it's just phenomenal
Oh,
when
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is that, that's part of it, right? It's like,
Mhm.
if you don't know where you're going, how do you know who to connect with?
Yeah.
Right? How do you know who's really the person or the people who
Mhm.
will not only will they support you, but you feel inspired and jazzed about supporting them.
Yes.
But if you're just like out there kind of just throwing things out there, hoping something will stick, and like you have these like I went for a while and I'm sure you've maybe at some point have felt this way where you just have these random conversations with
Mhm.
people,
Mhm.
and you're just like you're on the phone with somebody, you're like, "I have no idea why I'm on the phone with this person,"
Yeah.
or, "Well, I have no idea why
Yeah.
I'm on this Zoom room with this person." And it's
Yeah.
not to say that you shouldn't, like, treat the person with respect, whomever it is who's on the Zoom call with you, but the point is, like, if we can be more intentional,
Mhm.
like, how much more fun does this get to be, and how much more time do we then get to spend with our families?
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the thing is like I've been really like good this year. I know it's
Mhm.
only been a few days, but one of my goals was to get and this was the I know you were going to ask me a question about what's keeping me
Yep.
most productive, right? So
Uh-huh.
I'll just say that now.
Yeah.
So one of the things is really looking at my schedule and
Mhm.
keeping myself accountable to it.
Yeah.
So if I don't want to work more than let's say 6 hours in a day, then how do I accomplish all of the things I wanna do in those 6
Yeah.
hours? So then it becomes the thing, well, some of those things have to be no, like, some of those things have to be, like, maybe later. Some of those things have to be no, not at all,
Mhm.
and some of those things have to be, well, how can I do it more efficiently and how can I get help? So that's really what's the thing for me this year is really focusing on that, and do I put my pencil down at 5:30, right? And I've
Mhm.
been, I think, pretty good about that this week. I'm looking at my
Well,
husband right now.
I love
He's
that.
going like this.
My coach called it, I worked with the same coach for, like, 3 years, and he called it "shutdown complete."
Mhm.
And you need to decide when you're planning your day, you need to decide what time you're gonna shut down work.
Yeah.
And what that means for your family too, especially with, like, working at home. I could probably teach a whole workshop on the disconnection between home and, office, and making that
Mhm.
really distinct, and I had to
Mm.
do that. I had
Yeah.
to make it a
Mhm.
distinct difference. One of the other things I wanna unpack about what you said was the the way you are more intentional
Mhm.
about your calendar, and, I was hitting that last year with 30, 40 calls a week,
Wow.
discovery calls, and, 15-minute calls, 30-minute calls, 30 or 40 a week.
That's
Now,
crazy.
it's amazing.
I'm over here going,
You know
"Ah!"
you know, thank you to my website, and thank you to
Yeah.
people introducing me to people, and thank you
Yes.
that I do great content that makes people reach out to me, awesome.
Mhm.
But I can't sustain meeting that many people one-on-one, so what do I do?
Mhm.
Do I turn people away? I had to get creative, and this is where it's really fun to be productive when you can be creative about it.
Yeah.
So I decided, what are most of those people reaching out to me, getting introduced to me for? What is the typical reason people want to get on Zoom with me and meet me? It's because they wanna hear about my community and what I'm doing with entrepreneurs. Awesome. So I put 4 slots in my calendar every month, one at 9 AM, one at 12, one at 3, and one at 7.
Mm.
And they're all in the first 3 weeks of the month, so there's none of them in the last week of the month, and I made them a group call so
Nice.
that whoever wants to come and meet Suzanne, you can now schedule in those time slots. There might only be 1 person on the call, there might be 20, and then
Wow.
I get to turn it into, meet me, hear about my community, and then all of the people on the call actually get to meet each other too.
Yes. Brilliant. Yep. That's what you're about. You're about the community, so it's so perfect for you.
Yes. Yes. Hey,
Yes.
Jen is joining us. Hey, Jen. Jen is
Hi,
a social
Jen.
media rock star. She's got
Awesome.
a ridiculous amount of followers. I'm still stalking her a little bit. So, hey,
Whoa.
Jen, thanks for
Hi,
joining.
Jen. Oh.
She's somebody I want to talk to because she's doing some really good attraction marketing fun stuff. So, Jen,
Mm. Hey,
connect with
Ida's here too.
Melissa.
Hi, Ida.
Oh, hey, Ida. She's a rock star too, if you haven't met her yet.
Are you
So,
setting us up to talk about something in particular when you keep using the word rock star?
yeah. Hmm.
All
You
right.
like how I did that? You like
I
how I did
do. I
that?
love how you did
All
that.
right, so there's some exciting things happening, with your brand,
Mhm.
and I know who you worked with to pull this out of you, and I'm totally jealous because. If he's watching or if he catches this, I'll tag
Yeah.
him in the comments. Pablo Gonzalez
Mhm.
has an amazing course all about his content flywheel principle.
Mhm.
And he's one of our members in the Idea Lab. I'm also pulling Pablo's leg to take his course and make it something official for our community.
Wow, that's awesome.
I
Yeah, I
know.
saw him in there the other day. He was, well, he was commenting on something that I
Yeah.
posted, so,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, tell us a little bit about what you're working on.
Great. So I'm gonna just tell you, like, I launched this. Well, I didn't launch this. I told everybody like officially about it.
Mhm.
It's world premiere of the Rockstar Coach Brand Club, which is an live internet talk show. And it starts on January 23rd. It's going to be on Mondays at 11 a.m. It's not going to
Mhm.
be every Monday right now. Like we're going to be doing maybe a couple of times a month until we get like the wheels turning here.
Okay.
And then maybe at that point it'll be about 3 times a month. But anyway, so that is launching on January 23rd. And here's the reason. We kind of mentioned it earlier on. My whole mission really is to help coaches and consultants get out of the stuckness and like get to their up level, get to this amazing vision that they have
Mhm.
for helping more people, right? And helping themselves in the process. I mean, it's all like a big, it's a big, like, circle, I don't know.
Yeah.
So that was my impetus for it because that's who I mostly work with, and that's what I see almost every day, is
Mhm.
sort of this holding back and these obstacles and these lack of clarity and things like that. And so what we're gonna be doing is I'm bringing guests on the show, and I'm curating these guests specifically for my people, so my coaches and consultants, because I want these guests to either be people who have created a coaching or consulting business that's amazing, like that
Mhm.
is, helping so many people, right?
Mhm.
Or there are people that serve those same kinds of like so they help them get to there, the support people, right?
Yeah.
So and it's going to be in the areas of empire building, mindset, self-care, and branding. Those
Beautiful.
are the swim lanes of the topics we're going to be talking about. And I haven't announced my first guest yet. We're actually right in the process right now of creating a few like promo videos for her that are
Mhm.
going to start going into my social media and on my newsletter, etc. So people will get to see who she is. But she is someone, I'll just say this, she's someone that I met like probably about 5 years ago or so, who has grown her business tremendously. And she has a podcast that I listen to religiously.
Uh-huh.
So I knew that I really wanted her to, and she's really good about like the mindset around things. And I felt like the first guest should be somebody who really embodies that mindset and that practice of the right
Yeah.
mindset, right? So I'm just super excited. I mean, I just can't wait for it, and I want people to sign up for it and come and be in the live out. You have to register to get in the live audience because it'll be on Zoom, but we will be going live, at the same
Mhm.
time. It's just that we're only going to allow the people in the Zoom room to get to come up on stage and interact with my guest and me
I
to ask
love
their
that.
questions. Yes, so you have to register for that, and of course, I'll drop that in the comments here, the
Okay.
link to. So yes, I'm so excited.
Well, one, I love the idea of it's twofold, having what I do here on Friday mornings is, pretty one onefold. It's we go live on Facebook, we go live on LinkedIn
Yep.
and YouTube. I typically take this video and share it within my community. I also share it to my email list. So, I'm doing a halfway decent job with the content, right?
Hmm.
But what I like about what you're doing, and you know, I love it when Pablo does this as well. I join his live Zoom. He's recording his podcast,
Hmm.
and this concept of bringing your listeners into the conversation, I love. I
Hmm.
absolutely love it, and I'm so looking forward to, well, one, hopefully you'll have me as a guest at some point to talk about
Yes.
community and stuff,
Yes. And we've
but
already talked about that.
hint, hint, hint.
Hint,
Um,
hint.
but what I love about it is when I come to your show, and of course I'm gonna be there, the first one to support you and share it and all
Thank
of that
you.
beautiful stuff.
Hmm.
But I get to meet your guest. I get
Yes.
to meet the other people who are in the audience. And if you're struggling right now and you're listening to this and you say, "Sue, that's great. I don't know how you meet all those people. I don't know how you keep it straight. I don't know how whatever." You got to get out there and meet like minds, and the ripple effect of that is exactly what we were talking about in the beginning of the show.
Hmm.
It's getting connected to a group of people who share a big vision, who want to see you succeed, who want to help you grow, and you want to help them in
Mhm.
return. And it
Yes.
has this amazing ripple effect that you get to show up in rooms, like I get to show up in your room now.
Yeah.
You've been showing up in my room. I've been showing up at your workshop, right? But
Yes.
now you're doing something so much bigger, and I'm so
Mhm.
excited for you.
Thank you, and it's funny because I don't think I would ever have like, it's how things, like, just sort of progress and nothing is
Mhm.
really feels linear. You might think it is, but it's not. It's kind of like I didn't really know that I wanted to be a talk show host. I mean, who who knew that, right?
I know,
Um,
I
I
know.
and what was really funny was apparently this also makes me a podcaster, and I was like, "What?" 'Cause I
Yeah.
didn't sign up to be a podcaster.
Uh-huh.
Um, so it's super funny because actually, like midway through the boot camp that I did with Pablo, he starts talking about, yeah, and then when you're doing your podcast, I go, wait, what? What podcast am I doing?
Mhm.
And he goes, well, you're doing a podcast. And I was like, huh, I didn't even think of this as a podcast. You're
I
kidding
know.
me? So, and then he was like, oh, well, because you got to do the other episodes. I was like, I'm not doing it. Like I decided to make it my own, which is literally this will live on a podcast platform for sure,
Mhm.
but, after the fact, but, like, I'm not creating additional content for that. This is
Yes.
all about the live, the experience,
Yes.
etcetera. That's merely icing for me.
Mhm.
But I never really thought about this until and this again kinda goes back to the brand, right? So, I spent a lot of time figuring out what was the right place for me. I did Facebook groups like you've done and was not it just didn't jazz me, right? It was like,
Mhm.
it's alright, and I never really had my heart in it. And then last year when I knew Pablo previously, but he started talking about what he's doing in boot camp, and I thought, "Holy moly, this ties everything
Mhm.
into, like, one nice little bow for me."
Yeah.
And I love talking to people. Like,
Mhm.
I could do this all day
I
long,
know, it's so
all day.
fun. It's so
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
And
so I was like, "What's the better place for me to be?" Exactly.
well, that's part of the thing that I love is that, a lot of times the entrepreneurs I work with are overwhelmed with, well, one, social media,
Yeah.
do I need to be on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, Snapchat, TikTok? Oh my God, do I need to do all of that? And I
Mhm.
say, "No,
Mm-mm.
absolutely not. Get good at one, build a
Yeah.
following on one, and your content from that platform can literally go out everywhere if that's what if you're looking for omnipresence, right? If you're looking
Mhm.
for that."
Mhm.
And I think when you finally see that one post can come from, like, this conversation.
Mhm.
This is my content on LinkedIn for today. Hello,
Mhm.
you're
Yeah. Yeah.
seeing it. This is my
Uh-huh.
content for LinkedIn today. I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna talk about it. It's my content for Facebook today. I don't have to do anything else. It's
Mm-mm.
also a blog for Monday about you and what you do, and I share the YouTube video. Awesome. Don't have to create anything. And
Right.
then maybe there's even additional pieces of content that could come from this conversation. You never
Mhm.
know. And the snippets or turning it into a podcast, that's a good idea. Maybe I
Yeah.
need to do that, right?
Yeah.
And
Right?
that people wonder all the time, and I know they wonder this about you too. h- how do you manage finding guests, creating content, having conversations? Like, it seems like it's a lot of work to
Mhm.
people, but it's
Mhm.
really not. I wanna dispel that myth that
Yeah.
actually
It's not, and, one thing that I do with my clients too is when we're actually getting into their branding,
Mhm,
um, there's a whole, like well, I have a process that I use, but a lot of the content comes from the actual brand elements, their foundational elements, a lot of it. Some of it can be in the moment, etcetera, but it's kind of it's a process of going through those those areas. So like the vision, the mission, the ideal clients on demographics, psychographics, the problems you solve, the transformations, your values, all of these components, when we
Mhm.
get really like granular with it and figure it out, then when we sit down and do, that's kind of the next step of the process, is really figuring out what are the content lanes, like how do we like set those up based upon all of those elements. And
Mhm.
it's crazy when you like, once you've done that and you go, oh, yeah, here's my topics, no problem. And then you can also look at, well, what do my ideal clients want to know about me personally? Not just
Mhm.
what I do for them, but what do they want to know about me? Then it becomes super fun, because in the moment when you're out and about and you want to do something kind of quick, like maybe you want to do like a quick story or something like that, you'll know, oh, this particular thing, this event that I'm at, or this thing that I'm doing would be super fun for people to know about.
Yeah.
And so then it really kind of opens your eyes. One other thing I want to say about that too is having a process in place, or creating one. That's really the key here. It's not
Mm.
it's it's the thing that gets you ahead of the game rather than being reactive.
Yeah.
Um, and I just happen to believe that, having some support staff is great. Like some people don't do that, but I do, because I don't want to do all the nitty-gritty details. That's not my thing. Like even when I have that, and I have a process in place on how I do my content, but I want someone to take that over and do it for me. So literally it's just, I'm coming up with it, but you're the one scheduling it. You're the one going and letting me know when there's engagement. That's the other
Yeah.
side of it, right? It's like I can sit on social media all day and like, did anyone engage with my stuff? Or I can be over here doing something else and I can have someone looking and saying, Melissa, go get on LinkedIn because, several people
Mhm.
like just talk to, oh, okay, great. And I'll go do that. Right.
Right.
So there's just a lot there, but I don't know. That was a
Well,
lot of like kind of
I
what I look for.
remember years ago, when I was starting a marketing agency, um, I had a partner,
Mhm,
and we worked here in my office together 4 days a week, and it was amazing
mhm,
because we were equal partners in that agency, and we had some corporate wellness things happening. It was an amazing company. But to sit in the same room with someone and talk about the engagement and the emails and the to-do list and fire things off to each other, like, "Oh, that's you. Oh, that's you. Oh, that's you." It was amazing.
I love that.
And ever since then, I sold that agency. I focused back in on my coaching and building a community, and one of the things I discovered is that I miss that. I
Mhm,
miss having that person, whether it's a partner or whether it's, a full-time assistant, whatever that is. I
mhm,
miss having that. And so that's one of my goals for this year
mhm.
is
Yay.
to move from having that part-time VA to having a full-time dedicated person to do these
Wow,
things for
that's
me.
so amazing.
Yeah, I can't even believe
Wow.
I said it out loud.
I was
Um,
just gonna say, you just put it out there.
yeah,
There it is.
yeah,
Wow.
but
So
that's the
good.
power of this, right? And
Yes.
so if you're using social media like you are, like a rock star, um, I really feel like this what you're creating, 1, you're gonna put links and signups and all that in the comments for people to sign
Mhm.
up, but
Yeah, I can do that right now.
how else can people check out what you're doing?
With the show?
With the show, with your business, with your
Mhm.
branding program that you offer?
That is a great question. So, mostly the best way to know more is just to get on a call with me right now, because we are actually fleshing out some changes to my website. That's probably going to be a little bit back burner for me right now, just given the
Mhm.
fact that I want to get this show off the ground. Um, but I'm going to put a link in the chat right now and I guess I put it into where the heck do I put it in comments? I'm not
Yeah,
exactly sure.
Yeah, put it in the comments, but you'll have to
Um,
go to LinkedIn and find us
um,
live to do it. If
okay.
you do it here in, StreamYard, which is where we're broadcasting from, I don't believe
Mhm.
it will show up on LinkedIn.
Okay. I see it right there. Let's see. I'm gonna put in here, register to join the live show. Okay, so that's there. And then I can also put a link in here on getting on a call with me. Everything is sort of starting up this year, kind of fresh for me. So there's a fair amount of like back end work that I'm doing. I've
Mhm.
pretty much lost my, there you are. So a lot of back end work here. So, hey, it's an ongoing process, working on your brand, working on your
Yeah,
branding. All of it is ongoing. So, yeah, so I think that's the best thing to do. Go ahead and register for the show. I'll go ahead afterwards and pop in a link to get on a call with me.
okay.
I'm also part of your community, so I'll be building that out. You can find
Yep,
me if you are in Suzanne's community in Idea Lab. You can find me under brand Rockstar. And you can join my group there, which will be starting to get fleshed out here shortly. So it's all good stuff.
awesome.
Yes,
I'm just so happy that we met and
me too.
connected like we did. It was totally instantaneous, and,
Mhm.
I just feel so, so lucky when I trust my instincts like that, and thank you for trusting yours the same way. I
Oh,
appreciate you.
absolutely. I appreciate you more than you know.
Oh, awesome. Well, have an awesome day. Thanks for being here on the
Of course, thank
Productive and
you.
Prosperous Entrepreneur Show. And I dropped a link in the comments to join the Idea Lab community if you want to hang out with awesome entrepreneurs and explore the 12 micro communities on all different topics that have been created with the entrepreneur, service provider, small business owner in mind. Come join us and see what we're up to. The community's free. There are some paid options, workshop options, but totally free to come
Yeah,
out and hang out with us. So
yeah,
join
and
us.
it's better than being on social media. I'm just
Thank you.
saying.
Thank you. I'm just
Okay.
saying. Thank
I'm
you.
just saying.
All right. Have a great day,
All
Melissa.
right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.